In the dim corridors of the human psyche, where shadows whisper secrets of betrayal and devotion, loyalty emerges not as an unbreakable bond, but as a fragile illusion, susceptible to the skilled hand of the manipulator. This exploration delves into the confluence of dark psychology, Machiavellian pragmatism, and Stoic self-reliance, forging a framework for rewriting allegiances. Here, power is not seized through overt conquest, but through the subtle reconfiguration of others' dependencies, all while preserving one's own unassailable autonomy. We shall unravel this art layer by layer, revealing how to shift loyalties in your favor without succumbing to the very chains you weave. At its core, dark psychology illuminates the triggers that underpin loyalty, exposing them as evolutionary artifacts rather than moral imperatives. The human mind, wired for survival in tribal packs, craves connection to ward off the existential dread of isolation. Reciprocity stands as the primordial trigger, the unspoken ledger of favors exchanged. As social creatures, we are compelled to repay debts, lest we fracture the social fabric that sustains us. Dark psychology teaches that this instinct can be exploited with precision, offer aid in moments of vulnerability, and the recipient's psyche imprints you as indispensable. Yet this is no act of altruism. It is a calculated investment, yielding dividends in redirected allegiance. Machiavelli, the Renaissance architect of political cunning, complements this with his doctrine of alliances as transient tools. In The Prince, he posits that men are fickle, driven by self-interest above all. Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. To rewrite loyalties, one must first map the landscape of existing bonds, identifying fissures born of envy, unfulfilled ambition, or simmering resentment. Here, Machiavellian foresight demands anticipation. Foresee the rival's weaknesses and position yourself as the superior alternative. Offer not just reciprocity, but a vision of mutual elevation, laced with subtle implications of the rival's inevitable decline. Stoicism, however, serves as the tempering force, ensuring that the manipulator remains untethered. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This inner citadel of self-reliance is paramount. It prevents the weaver from becoming entangled in their own web. While dark psychology exploits others' emotional anchors, tying loyalty to shared narratives of triumph or adversity, Stoicism demands detachment. Craft these anchors with care. Amplify insecurities. Position yourself as the beacon in their storm, but never invest your own emotional currency. Loyalty to you becomes their crutch, while you stand on the bedrock of self-sufficiency. Consider the psychological mechanics at play. Dark psychology draws from cognitive biases, such as the anchoring effect, where initial impressions shape subsequent judgments. To shift allegiances, anchor their perception of you positively through mirroring, subtly emulating their gestures, language, and values to foster unconscious rapport. This technique, rooted in neuro-linguistic programming, creates a mirror neuron response, making them see in you a kindred spirit. Machiavellian strategy elevates this to alliance building. Once rapport is established, introduce scarcity. Hint at exclusive opportunities under your influence. access to resources, knowledge, or status that their current loyalties cannot provide. The mind, averse to loss, will rationalize defection as necessity. Yet, rewriting loyalties requires navigating the treacherous waters of cognitive dissonance. When individuals confront the inconsistency between their actions and beliefs, discomfort arises, often resolved by rewriting their internal narrative. Dark psychology exploits this by gradually eroding old bonds. Plant seeds of doubt through insinuation, not accusation. Question the rival's reliability with evidence curated from half-truths, perhaps a shared rumor or observed inconsistency. Stoic equanimity guides this process. Remain impassive, observing reactions without attachment. Epictetus teaches, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By maintaining composure, you project an aura of inevitability, making your path seem the only rational choice. In practice, envision a corporate arena where teams fracture under ambition's weight. A colleague's allegiance wavers toward a superior rival. Begin with dark psychology's isolation tactics. Subtly undermine their other supports through whispered warnings or engineered oversights, heightening their sense of vulnerability. Then, trigger reciprocity. Extend aid in a contrived crisis, perhaps one you've indirectly influenced. Mirror their frustrations to build empathy. I've seen this before. It's frustrating when promises fall through. Machiavellian pragmatism dictates the pivot. Offer a collaborative venture that promises assent, while highlighting the rival's stagnation with factual undertones. Data shows their projects underperform. Aligning here could double our impact. Stoic self-reliance? Diversify your own alliances simultaneously, ensuring no single defection imperils you. Philosophically, this art probes the abyss of human agency. Is manipulating loyalty a descent into corruption, or the pinnacle of empowerment in a predatory world? Stoicism posits virtue in self-mastery. Yet Machiavelli counters that virtue untempered by necessity is folly. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, he warns, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. In this synthesis, dark psychology provides the fox's cunning, insights into subconscious drives like the need for belonging, while Stoicism armors the lion with resilience. Together, they enable not mere survival, but dominion. Beware the shadow's pitfalls. Overzealous application invites backlash. Push too forcefully, and the manipulated sense the strings, triggering rebellion. Dark psychology warns of reactance, the urge to reclaim autonomy when freedom feels threatened. Mitigate this with subtlety. Frame shifts as organic evolutions, not coerced changes. This opportunity just arose. It aligns perfectly with your goals. Stoic patience is key. As Seneca advises, he who is brave is free. Cultivate timing, allowing loyalties to ripen before harvest. Machiavellian foresight extends to contingency. Always prepare for reversal by planting deniability. Ensure your influences appear circumstantial, not orchestrated. Expanding this framework, consider interpersonal realms beyond the professional. In social circles, loyalties form around shared identities, ripe for reconfiguration. Dark psychology identifies groupthink as a vulnerability. Individuals conform to maintain harmony. To rewrite, introduce dissonance, Subtly challenge the group's narrative while validating the target's unique perspective. You're the only one who sees the bigger picture here. Machiavellian alliance building follows. Forge a subgroup under your banner, offering exclusivity that the original circle lacks. Stoic detachment ensures you view these as tools, not essentials. Friendships are alliances of convenience, dissolved when utility wanes. In romantic entanglements, the stakes intensify. Loyalty here intertwines with attachment styles, secure, anxious, avoidant, each a lever for dark psychology. An anxious partner clings to reassurance, provide it selectively, tying their devotion to your presence. Machiavellian strategy: create perceived threats, flirtations with alternatives, to heighten value through scarcity. Yet Stoicism demands you remain unaffected. Love, like loyalty, is external, beyond your control. Epictetus: don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen. This detachment empowers you to rewrite without emotional investment, turning passion into a strategic asset. Historically, this triad has manifested in figures of power. Julius Caesar, a Machiavellian par excellence, rewrote loyalties by exploiting Roman senators' ambitions, offering reciprocity through patronage while isolating rivals. His Stoic-like resilience in the face of betrayal until the Ides underscored self-reliance. Dark psychology retrofits this. Caesar mirrored the masses' desires, anchoring loyalty to his persona as liberator. Modern parallels abound in politics, where leaders erode opponents' bases through targeted narratives, blending fear and hope. Ethically, this path invites introspection. Dark psychology unveils the mind's malleability, questioning free will's sanctity. If loyalties are so easily rewritten, are we mere puppets of influence? Stoicism offers solace. True freedom lies in internal governance. Machiavelli pragmatically accepts the world's amorality. To thrive, one must adapt. This framework, then, is not villainy, but realism, a shield against naivety in a world where allegiances shift like sands. To implement, audit your network, charting loyalties as battle maps. Identify triggers, reciprocity for the pragmatic, emotional anchors for the insecure. Employ mirroring to build rapport, scarcity to induce urgency. Erode old bonds with doubt, forge new ones with promise. Maintain stoic vigilance, diversify, anticipate betrayal, detach emotionally. Measure success not in numbers swayed, but in your unyielding sovereignty.